There was a lot going on. I was scared. I'm like, no, it shouldn't be a reason, because you literally just said it's the only way that you can help me and it's the only way we can do it. So you lied. So their idea was to stick a tube, the bladder procedure, probably like this big, probably even longer, inside of me. But not just inside of me, inside of my... What's good, man? Listen. Thank y'all for y'all support on the videos. I appreciate it a lot. I know I've been taking months, 2.5 to be exact, off of these videos, but listen, I'm back. I'm not taking a break no more. Like I said in the last video, I'm here to stay. But yeah, I made a promise to myself, it was before I did the procedure, that I would not fake any videos. The energy that I put into the video is my real life energy. That's why when I was inside the hospital and I was like, hey man, also here, listen, what happened today was, or I just be like, I'm out of it. I just went through this just happened, I'm tired, I can't sleep. Like, I was giving y'all the real energy. I was giving y'all real energy. Like, if I'm out of it and I can't really talk like that, but I'm trying for y'all, it's like, you know, it's not doing me, I'm just living. But if I come to y'all with good energy, like, yeah, me and my doctor, and we just joking around, laughing, it's like, that's real energy as well. Like, whatever energy I'm gonna have off the camera, I wanna have it on the camera. But I didn't wanna bring out negative energy after the fact. And also, I was like focusing on myself because stuff I needed to deal with. So let's get into the procedure after effects. My last, like very last day of the transplant, day 39. Probably, you know, even 38 because it was the night of. So day 38, I was getting like bumps under here, like that was going down my arm. So I showed the nurse. She said, oh, that's nothing. It'll go away. So I guess she thought I was just like not washing up properly under my arms and that would go away. So I'm like, that can't be true because I know what those look like. I know people who have that. That's not me. I cleaned up under my arm. So I tell the doctor in the morning, day 39, and see it. And he's like, we don't know what this says. It looks weird, but we can probably give you some medicine for some cream. So he knew it wasn't that, but it was unfamiliar in his eyes too. So whatever, we end up leaving. So this day 40, I end up leaving. I go home. It gets super worse. It gets super big. It's like huge. All like, it's not even on my armpits no more. It's like that. It's like going down. It's like it's huge, hard. Some of them hurt like crazy. Some I couldn't put my arm down. Like, it was terrible. And then I went to the doctor again. It was like, oh, we don't know what these are. This and this. And then I had a high fever, and they was assuming it's an infection coming on. So I had to stay in the hospital 2 days after I made that last video, not the Q&A, but the one before that. It was at least like 4 days long I was in the hospital. They trying to check what's going on. They can't find anything. They just start searching for infections and things to help it. And then at the point, like, I'm just here for nothing. I'm doing scans. I'm doing all this other stuff. They say they know what it was. You know how girls get pregnant and they check the baby with that thing. You can see the baby on a monitor. They checked that with this to see if it was liquid inside, like it was a pus type feeling. Because some of them feel like it was jelly and liquidy, and some of them feel like rock solid, like you finna hit freaking, who got some hard abs? I can't even think of a buff person right now, but Bobby Lashley, like you finna touch his arm, that's how hard they was. Like, it was crazy. Or a bald person just head, well, me right now, basically. I ain't bald, but like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no hair, it's the lowest hair I ever had. But it was super hard. And I thought it was getting a little bit better, but it wasn't too crazy. It just went away a little bit. But after I left the hospital, it went away completely within like weeks time. In this hospital, man, it takes a toll on you. Going through the steps by steps, the transplant, with the chemo, the radiation, just all that, I went through that with a breeze. Besides, like I said, the only problem I had with that was the acid reflux, because I never had it before, and you know how to deal with it. That was just that. But the hard part was this, man, waking up to seeing the same exact people, the same exact time, the same exact place, the same exact walls, outfits, process procedures, the hardest thing ever. Like, I literally can like wake up, just behind my eyes closed, I hear the door, I was like, hey miss, say the nurse name, I knew what she finna do, so I raised my arm up before she even put the cup around my arm. I did not reach for the thing. Like, all this is while my eyes closed. I literally know what's going on. And then by the time she gets ready to leave, another doctor walk in, or it's another nurse to check my height. I literally know everything throughout my whole day. I can go through my whole day with my eyes closed, and I know exactly where everything is. Who am I talking to? Like, that's literally how my days went. And so I literally felt crazy. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Like, I literally felt insane. And my mental was already terrible before that, because my whole life I never had like a support team. I never had that person that was like, oh, here, you need a hug, I'm here for you. I never had that person that was like, oh, he's in pain, let me nurture you somehow, some way. Let me, you know what I'm saying? I had like, basically, it felt like I had two fathers. You feel me? You know how dads go, oh, you'll be fine, get up, quit being a pun, blah, blah. That's basically kind of what I had, you feel me? Like, it wasn't like that nurturing person. Besides my sister, she's way older than me, so she left the house when I was like, probably middle school, I believe. Probably something like that. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, like, I don't know, it just a lot. Like, it was times I was dying. And people was like, no, he's fine, he's overreacting, he always do this. Like, I was literally dying. By the time I went to the hospital, I blanked out, and I wake up, I had surgery, I had all this, and it was, oh, you was on the verge of death. And then you don't remember acting out. Like I told you before, I put the needle out of me before, I was acting rowdy, this and this. Like, I didn't want nothing, like, I was trying to get out of here, basically. What they was, like, explaining to me, but I don't remember none of that. I guess it was my infection just in my bloodstream just taking over and just doing whatever it wanted to. And I guess my body was like, whatever we want to do, we doing it. And I guess I was trying to leave. And that crazy and just disturbed peace. And I don't remember that. It was times I died at least, I could have died at least almost 3 times. Probably more that I don't even remember in the hospital. And not once my whole life I had a visitor besides my best friend. That was just a few time thing because it was able to. Now quarantine her, I said her. Now quarantined here, and I wasn't allowed it at all. Probably like once, 1 week, I was able to have a visitor. But I was only allowed one visitor, so whoever I chose could come. So I chose that person, and that person came. And that was it. After that, couldn't have nobody, you know, for like the same thing over and over. Especially day 2 of my videos about what happened. That messed up my mental as well. And there's so much more and more and more and more that is built to it. Like, to the point that, man, I was just trying to get out, not for what's going on, but just because, one, my mental was already bad, it's just making it worse. Like, at first, it was smooth, because being one was what I was used to being in hospitals. Like, literally, I was just sitting there, listening to music, and just think. And I can literally just do like this all day in the hospital, thinking. Because what I was used to. I was used to being alone in bad situations that my cope with, like, anything I go through in life at all. Anything is music. I always have people like, oh, if you need anything, I'll be there for you. I never, blah, blah, I always have your back, blah, blah. It was a lot of people saying that. But it was not nobody doing it. Like, I had one person in high school that was doing it, but only in school, because it was like a little in-school only relationship thing. That person couldn't help me if I was in the hospital. Couldn't help me if I was home. Only school. So it was kind of like, in my head, like, what's the point of telling this person if they can't help? All I was gonna do is make them worry. So, like, why do that? So I just stuck to myself. I just kept things from that person to myself. But me doing that made that person suspicious of my actions. Instead of me, like, being in pain, the first thing they thought was, like, cheating, which was also bad for my mental, but I stayed in that predicament I was in. So I don't know. I was a lot of things that was, like, taking a toll on my head, and I just letting it happen in that situation. But now it's like I'm letting go of things that mess up my mental now as the time progressed. Like, I don't know, it's like things that stress me out, bother my mental. I'm now willing to just be like, all right, bro, whatever. I'm letting that go, dropping that, leaving that alone, stop messing with that, get away from me. You feel me? Even though I didn't keep people around me, because like I said, when I'm in the hospital, I'm by myself anyway. That's all I know, is being by myself. All I know is listening to music and getting away from people. All I know is isolating, like, literally. Literally, that's all I was able to do, because, like, whenever I was in pain when I was young, it was like, oh, go do this, go take ibuprofen. I got sick, I said, what is that really gonna do? Oh, go do this, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, you know what? All right, cope with it, stuck in my brain, and that's all I know how to do now, you feel me? I prefer it now, if anything. So now people be like, oh, I'm always here, I'm always do this, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I usually just wait for the actions to prove it, and that's what brings me closer to a person. If they don't say things, but they do things, you live. So I'm not putting out videos, I guess, or that infection happened. And then I healed from that. All these were gone. Fast forward probably like a few days, probably like a week, next week, catch another infection in my bladder. And it was like, oh, probably the infection from here started in your blood, it went to your bladder. So that was annoying. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is about to be hell. Weeks. I couldn't pee regular. I was peeing out blood, like a whole lot of blood. Like it was so much blood that one time the toilet was red. You couldn't see the yellow. It wasn't orange. It was straight red. Death. Like, you swear you just got done watching the Freddy Krueger movie and they slashed somebody's butthole just in the toilet. Like, bruh, literally pissed, straight blood. And that was scary. Took me to the doctor. Was there pains? Like, it was points to where I had to pee. Like, even if I lay down, it would hurt down there. Like I can walk and it would hurt down there. My underwear can like scrape the shaft of it and it would hurt. Like, everything would hurt. So this is taking a toll mental too, cause like I couldn't do nothing. Most of like 60% of my time with these 2 months is in this bed. That's how bad my mental was. Like, I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to eat. I was losing weight like, even more. Like, I was eating when I was leaving the hospital. Like, during the time I was finna get admitted out, I was literally eating fine, at least 3 or 4 meals a day. I left, I wasn't eating jack squat. I was probably eating like 5 fries a day. Fucking 2 bags, like two bags of like snacks, like granola bars a day, or like something small, you feel me? That's all I was eating. Barely was even drinking anything. I literally probably drank like one bottle. Like, I was literally not doing anything. Like, that's how bad it was a period. I didn't care. Like, I was giving up. Yeah, I couldn't move. I literally had to sleep holding my private part just so nothing else would touch it. The only thing I felt comfortable touching it was my hands. I literally had to cuff it like this at night and go to sleep like I'm trying to set a charge in basketball. I literally just sleeping on it. Like, because anything else it would hurt, literally. So I'm at the hospital. They gave me pills for it. They did more blood tests. Came back, obviously, blood infection. So I went home, took the pills, blah, blah. It went away, but they were still checking me. It was fine. Fast forward again, it came back. During this whole time, it wasn't even hurting down there as much. It was just like, it was still super sensitive, but it wasn't hurting. So it came back. I'm in pain again down there. This time it lasted for so long. I don't know, probably like 2 weeks long of just setting pics throughout my whole life. Or months. It probably lasted months. 2 months? Probably 2 full months. I'm gonna say 2 full months of me hurting. Repeated hospital visits, staying at the hospital days and days and days. Annoying. So I was just like, okay, whatever, cool. Back to my hospital visits, procedures. But then it was like, okay, we need to do something about this infection. Here's what we're gonna do. So their idea was to stick a tube, the bladder procedure, probably like this big, probably even longer, inside of me. But not just inside of me, inside of my sausage party. That's what I'm gonna call it, because YouTube is strict. They tried to stick it up inside my, yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, no, what do you mean? And then we checked my temperature, I had a fever. So when you have a fever at the hospital, you have to stay, or they will not let you go home. You are just forced. I tried my all to leave. I'm like, no, I'm not staying. I don't care, bro. But even though I didn't want to stay, I'm still respectful about it. I was like, all right, I guess, okay, I'm staying, but just, I don't want to, like, when I'm irritated, I don't want people talking to me like that. Then they bring up the black thing again. I'm like, no. My doctor that first brought it up to me, she said, I asked her to her face, does this hurt? And she looked at me with a straight face. No, this does not hurt. It's just, you just stick it in, they inject medicine, and they take it out. It's fine. But I'm like, that's a sensitive area. Why wouldn't it hurt? And she was like, it's because, like, this is, they gonna just stick it in, just like, it's gonna be smooth, and they'll take it out. So this is, okay, I'm like, all right, whatever. Okay, I'll do it, just whatever. Only because she said it wouldn't hurt. The nurse says, well, it will hurt, but they can numb it up with some numbing cream, so it wouldn't hurt. And I'm like, okay, that's acceptable as well. So the two people that's ready to do the thing, I use the bathroom before the surgery comes. They come out with all the gear, and I'm noticing, I'm like, wait, where's the cream? She said, oh yeah, I forgot about the cream. Usually people don't say anything about it. I'm like, you don't even get people an option? What do you mean? What? In my head, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not doing this without the cream. If they don't get the cream, I'm not doing it. So they want to get the cream. And so what happened? They come out with the cream. They take the little They got the little round cylinder type triangular tip to like squeeze it inside the sausage party. So I'm like, okay, cool. I feel it. But it still hurt. Keep in mind, this is where I'm still hurting down there. All the damage to my sausage is still damaged. Like my shaft, it got like lump on it. It was super damaged. Like if I touched it, I'm feeling that for like a good 10 minutes of just stinging. Like it got kicked in the nuts. I'm just like, oh my god. That's how bad it was. So they're trying to stick a tube inside it. It's even worse. So okay, let's say this is my tube to my sausage. So they finna stick it in. Every time they get close, I'm like, hold on, wait. I did like 5 times. I was scared. I ain't gonna count. I'm usually never scared. Like, boy, I was terrified. I was just like, wait. And then, I guess like the 4th or 5th time, she was like, I jumped like, wait, when I don't know, wait. She just said, well, I have to. In the most nicest voice ever. Stuck it inside. I'm like, you ain't. Oh, it was crazy. And I tried to, like, you know how people grab people? Just to hold them, just to you know what I'm saying? I couldn't do that. I guess they were scared I was gonna hurt them. I'm like, bro, I just want to grab your shirt, like, cause they was wearing like these suits, so you don't get infected. But I just wanted to grab this shirt. They like, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. I'm like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want to grab the suit, the shirt, something. You literally just forced a tube in me without even saying go. Like, come on now, you can't even be mad. Look what you just did. What? Fair game. But yeah. She's just sticking it in. I'm just like I'm just making noises over it. I'm not even exaggerating. It hurt. All that. I didn't want it to. Boy, I didn't cry. I'm over here screaming in pain. By the time they finished it, they put it in me. They got it sitting there just chilling, doing their thug. Medicine is going in me. And they told me, anything you need will always be outside your door, waiting. And we're here for you. As soon as you ring the button, we'll come right away, immediately in a rush. I'm like, okay, so cool. Fast forward, I took me 45 minutes. That's the total time that it's supposed to be inside me. But 15 minutes in, 10 minutes in, keep in mind, I have a bladder infection at this very moment still with the tube inside of me. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm reading for the thing because I use the bathroom. And if you have an infection, you can't use the bathroom. Like, you can't hold it. It comes out right away, immediately. As soon as you feel it, that's when it's coming out. So I feel like it's coming on, like it's finna just push out. I'm ringing the buzzer. They're not coming. It's like a whole minute later, they're like, okay, we're on our way. I'm like, you just now get in the car? Like, don't answer the car, just come through. Like, I am in danger. I'm finna use it on myself. Like, I need help, I gotta pee. I'm yelling through the thing, I gotta pee, the little phone thing, the intercom, and talk to you, I gotta pee. Like, okay, like, bro, she's coming here, put her thing so slow. I'm over here, I gotta pee. I gotta, like, what's the vibe? She get to me, look at the bucket, look at me, look at the bucket, don't know what to do. And I'm just like, fuck it. And I peed right then and there. Let's say this is the tube of the medicine that's coming in me at. It was going inside the tube and outside the tube because it was like my thing, pause, normal. But like, let's say this is inside my body. So if I'm peeing out of my like sausage, it's gonna go inside the tube. And it's gonna go outside the tube as well. That's what's going on, was pee all over the place. And man, it was crazy. And it happened again. They was taking their time. Pee again, the same thing. Like, bro, you can't hold pee with an infection. You don't get even a worse infection. You don't get it's only gonna make it worse. Like, even if you wanted to hold it, you can't hold it. And they were, we'll be right here as fast as we can. We'll be right outside the door. We will come in as quickly as possible. Like, there was none of that going on at all. So then after that's done, everything down there was swollen completely. By the time I was finished, I couldn't pee if I wanted to because I got to the toilet. It was so swollen down there that it was stopping the pee from coming out for like an hour straight. So that was traumatic and terrible. So I'm still hurting down there, setting pics and stuff, like holding it, just making sure I'm fine. Like, I literally had to walk like this, like this is literally how I'm walking because it's that bad. Like, I was hurting. Don't mind my outfit either. This is what I wore to the hospital. I always wear joggers and my I don't care shoes to the hospital. Like, you know what I'm saying? These Charles Barkley, these historical shoes. A lot of people probably mad like, bro, what? You wore these to the hospital? But yeah, you feel me? I work Charles Barkley to the hospital. You got a problem with it, you feel me? A lot of people probably heated right now. You do not wear Charles Barkley's historical shoes. My bad, bruh. And I work out in Jordans. What's the problem? What's the problem? But no, it was crazy. And then my doctor had the nerve to say, you have to do it 4 more times. No, nigga, I'm out of here. That's dead. Like literally, I stopped. I went home after that. No, it was something else going on too. I think it was something with my liver. I think it was getting damaged from all the medicine I was taking. So I'd stay like an extra day. So I stayed like 5 days there. Went home. A week later, 2 weeks later, the bladder infection came back. Cause like I said, I only did that thing one time, bruh. One time. And then she was like, well, you need to keep doing the thing or it's gonna get worse. I was fine before then. Like the day of that procedure thing, when I got admitted, I was fine down there. Like in terms of feeling wise, until after they stuck a tube in me. So that was sore for a while, like for a few days of why that was still in pain, because they stuck the tube in me. But in terms of like in pain of like from the infection, I was fine that morning in terms of pain. I didn't know if I stuck the infection inside me, but most likely I did because they checked me and they said I did. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So she's like, well, you need to keep taking the procedure up here or you're gonna be more infected. When I was taking antibiotics, I was fine. Everything was good. Until y'all made me do that thing and then it was hurting again. And she's like, no, this is the only way. Keep in mind, this is the only way we can help you. Her words. If what she was literally saying, without that, I would not be able to get rid of this infection because of my immune system. Remember? So I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. And then she's like, I'm like, why can't I just get more antibiotics? Because with the antibiotics went away. And she wasn't listening. She was like, no. So coincidentally, when I get home around my family and call her back, she's like, oh yeah, you can have it. Where was the simplicity when I was there waiting in your face? But when I'm around my family, she's like, no. She's like, yes. You just saying yes to everything. But when it's just one-on-one, me and her, she's like, no, it's not gonna work. It's pointless, blah, blah. So whatever, I get the antibiotics. I'm taking it. It's getting better and getting better. And in the midst of me taking my antibiotics, she's like, you gotta do this procedure. I'm like, no, like, leave it alone. I promise you I will not say yes. And then she's like, okay, well, there is another way. We can do it. Keep in mind, she said this is literally the only way we can treat, like, she can treat me. The only way, she said, only, single, literally, like, she's literally only facing one direction. She tunnel vision and saying the only way is this way. Weeks later, she's like, okay, we can do this way. It's less painful and it's just straight like a transfusion. Where was that at last, like, a few weeks ago? She said, well, I didn't bring it because I'm like, no, it shouldn't be a reason because you literally just said it's the only way that you can help me and it's the only way we can do it. So you lied. And I have a very confident doctor. So as I'm pressing her, she started go, well, see the thing, like, she never does that. I have a confident doctor. She never does that. I literally blatantly call her line. She's trying to do the IV thing, the transfusion. I say yes to it, but only because by the time she want to schedule it, I should be done my ibuprofen then. So I say yes. Boom, bada bing. The day come, she checked my blood, all the infection is gone. She's like, well, it's gonna come back. And I'm like, the thing is for the infection, right? And she's like, yeah, I don't have an infection right now, right? She said, well, you don't, but you can't give it to me. Well, for something I don't have. And then she's like, well, we're gonna wait and see. Months later, it never came back. Never came back. It'd be like 3 months, 2 months, whatever like that, something like that. I don't know. I think it was like early September, mid-September. Look where I'm at now. I'm fine, right? No infections. I'm cool. I did have more infections, but I had no bladder infection. I had an infection that they couldn't find. And that was around the same time frame of the bladder infection. I'm thugging. Like, I used to, like, bro, that was horrible. And then my meds, they was tampering my meds. They didn't know which milligram dosage I needed. So when it was too high, that's how, I think that's how all this happened. All on my face, I had too high of a dosage of one of my medicines, and I felt literally every single effect. I literally stand up, feel super lightheaded, be dizzy, like I'm gonna pass out. I lay down, fell asleep, like, it was crazy. Like, the side effects, I feel like after procedure is worse than during the procedure because I felt so much. It was infection after infection after infection after infections. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing a big chunk of detail. And I can't remember. I just know the worst part was just sitting here, holding my nuts all night, all day. Because like I said, most of my days was right here on this bed. Kid you not, it was just right here. No eating, barely drinking, just right here. That was the worst part of the procedure after the fact. Fevers after fevers. I probably went to the hospital at least a good 15 days extra prior to being admitted. The first time y'all see me admitted, I probably went to the hospital at least 15 extra days between now and these 2.5 months. I was still going back and back to the hospital, like not just visits and checkups, but I'm talking staying overnight for something serious. Cause the last one I stayed was the BK thing, and I was already admitted. Like I already left the hospital originally, so I'm not even counting that virus. But even though I had that virus, that still prolonged for some good time as well. Like it was a lot going on. My mental was terrible. My mental was literally terrible. After they stuck the tube up me, and I felt just like, bro, that was really so painful, and I didn't want to do it right away. At that moment, I wasn't mentally prepared for it. And that also affected that, because it was like, bro, I didn't know how to feel. It was just like being forced something that you didn't want to have, but this time it went up my penis. Like it was shocking, it was crazy. So that messed me up right there too. I literally was like in my bed, in the dark, just listening to music for so long. Didn't get out of my bed, barely was eating like I told y'all. I was already losing weight. I already lost 45 pounds during the procedure. It was all crazy, and I told you I'm not gonna pick up the camera and fake energy, because that's not how I want. I want real energy. I'm not gonna be home recording like this in a good setup with some low energy that sucked. Like, hey, yeah, I'm still hurting, and I couldn't sit still because I was rocking. Oh, and I also got this other, like, you see me scratching my face a lot, like my arms and all this. I told you in my last video I got the side effect where I itch like it's on fire. Last night it was probably like the worst, like it was in the beginning. Like I was like moving like this, like it was literally everywhere. Like it was like I was getting caught with like sparklers, like fireworks and stuff all over me, and I had to scratch immediately. Like it was the worst it's been since the beginning of me having it. Like literally, it was like I'm literally like moving like this, like I'm pop locking or something. Like you feel me? Like that's how I was moving. It was terrible, and I didn't like it, and I still don't like it. It happened last night. I just hope it don't happen again. I'm taking Benadryl pills, Benadryl cream, just hoping whatever it is goes away. The stress is real, man. It's annoying. Like I'm telling y'all, after effect is way worse than before. And even after, I haven't been chilling and kicking it with nobody. Like I said, it's quarantine. I can't even go outside if I want to, so I'm still alone by myself. Just dealing with this solo dolo. Like I told y'all, I didn't have nobody ever sit next to me by a hospital bed, nigga. Like my guy's friend mom came to the hospital. He was cool. Well, no. She visited me. I think he took me. I was in so much pain. I was punching the hospital walls and I was in so much pain. Like I was literally punching the hospital walls. You know how in front of the hospital beds got this little grippable wires when somebody like transporting you? I was gripping those, I was trying to break it off. Like I was so much pain. And she literally came and rubbed my back and said everything is gonna be okay. And just giving me that small little nurture. That was the first time somebody's ever done that. And just that alone, I calmed down and I just fell asleep. Kid you not. You can ask me yourself, that literally happened. Like, she literally just came and was talking to me in a gentle voice, rubbing my back, just trying to like be there for me. The nurture of a woman is different for me. Like, I never ever had to, like, I'll go with my sister every now and then, but that's when like it's super bad, when I desperately need her. Like, she's my first alternative to go to. But in that moment, it was just, she literally rubbed my back, said everything's gonna be okay, listen to blah blah. His mom, keep in mind, his mom, and he's the one that took me there. And you know, it's crazy, and I just passed out to sleep. It was a time where I was dying. Literally, like I said, I had nobody there when I was dying, surgeries, all that, nobody. But there was a time I was dying at my auntie's house. I woke up crying, couldn't breathe, couldn't do nothing, couldn't move my leg, all that. It was so bad. But I don't want to tell this story because it's a super deep story. I might tell it in the later future, maybe years. It's a super deep story if I got to this point. But yeah, majority of this was just mainly to just work on my mental and just recuperate everything and just take those 2 months and just focus on here. They wanted to give me like a little depression thing, test, scan, whatever, I don't know. I know like a while ago when they first took it, I had some results. I don't want to say the results, but I had some results. But now they want to bring it up. They wanted to bring it up and do it when I was in the hospital. I said no, and they bring it up again recently, and I said no, because I don't even want to see the results now. I don't know, I just don't. I don't like people picking my brain. I have a family that's like, oh, if you think you got a mental illness, then you crazy, like, you got problems. I have that type of family, you feel me? That they think if you think you have a mental illness, you bugging. You over exaggerating, you know what I'm saying? I have that type of family. But I'm like, I ain't even that. Like I said, I always keep to myself anyway, so I can continue doing it, you feel me? I ain't tripping. But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say. Once again, thanks for the support. I appreciate every single one of y'all watching, tuning into these videos. I just want to give as much information as I can to y'all and inform y'all what's good, what's been happening, why I've been taking breaks off, why I stopped doing this and that, because it's a lot going on. It was a lot going on. I was scared. Wasn't eating, like I said, wasn't doing nothing healthy for myself at all. I was literally just thinking to myself a lot. But like I said, appreciate y'all for the support. If you're doing this, man, keep your head up. Stay positive. Make sure you got a support team. Make sure you can like do something. Keep your head occupied. Make sure every day is different. Make sure every day feels different. Cause you gonna need it. Like I used to like stay in the shower for like 3 or 4 hours. They used to be worried about me like, hey, you good in there? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. But that's like the bathroom like an escape room because you can't have nobody in the bathroom with you. You don't even gotta take your phone to the bathroom with you. I'm back stable on the okay-ish level, but yeah. The airplane coming back from the earlier. Let me hurry finish this because I don't want to get irritated by this airplane, you feel me? So yeah. If you haven't already, hit like button on this video. Love every single one of y'all for tuning in, checking it out. I hope y'all, if y'all end up doing this procedure, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all get through it. I will just as much as I did, but I just hope y'all mental and y'all support. And the people who's there for y'all are just way better than the people I got around me. So yeah, man, if you haven't already, like I said, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to join the OSO gang. Peace.